Something breaks in the house. The car starts making noise. The lawnmower quits running right in the middle of grass growing season. The kid's bike comes back, bent up again. After a while, calling repairmen, waiting on appointments, and paying the bill every time gets old. You start looking at some of these repairs and thinking, maybe you could handle them yourself, if you just had a place to work. That's usually how the whole thing starts. A repair, a side project, a simple idea that turns into another idea later. At first, the work happens wherever there's room, the driveway, the patio, maybe an old folding table dragged out beside the car. Before long, a few tools start showing up. A drill, a socket set, a circular saw, maybe a battery charger sitting on a shelf. Maybe work is clamped to the corner of a table. At that stage, the setup barely matters, because the goal is simple: get the project done and learn something along the way. After a while, though, the work starts teaching lessons. One of the first things you figure out is that unstable work surfaces make everything harder. Folding tables shake around, sawhorses wobble, lightweight benches flex when you lean into them. Trying to clamp something securely, cut straight, or drill accurately becomes harder because the whole setup keeps moving around underneath the work. Sooner or later, the garage gets its first real bench. Maybe homemade, maybe bought used, doesn't matter. That workbench becomes the foundation for so many projects yet to come. The tools start spreading out too. Every project begins with searching around the garage for drill bits, sockets, tape measures, clamps, or extension cords. Pretty soon, the tools start staying closer to where they get used, because wasting time hunting for things gets draining fast. But tools can't stay piled on the workbench forever, because then there's nowhere left to work. That's when shelves start showing up, then pegboard, then drawers, maybe eventually a tool wall near the bench, because grabbing a tool off the wall is easier than digging through random boxes every time something needs to get done. Lighting changes the same way. The garage lighting feels good enough until you start trying to do accurate work. Shadows start covering layout marks. Small measurements get harder to see. You catch yourself dragging around trouble lights or holding a flashlight while trying to work. Once brighter lighting goes in, the whole space changes. The work gets easier to see. Mistakes become easier to catch. Small details stop disappearing in the shadows. Better lighting doesn't just improve the garage, it improves the quality of the work happening inside it. The electrical side starts evolving right alongside it. One extension cord turns into 3. Power strips start hanging off benches and shelves. One tool has to be unplugged so another one can run. After a while, the workflow becomes permanent enough that the garage starts asking for better power in better locations. Extra outlets get added. Better lighting circuits show up. Maybe eventually a dedicated breaker or two. Not because anybody is building a commercial shop, but because dragging cords all over the floor every time you work gets old in a hurry. As skills improve, the projects start getting larger too. Small repairs turn into upgrades. Basic builds turn into more complicated projects. Some jobs start taking days instead of hours. Parts stay clamped overnight. Paint needs time to dry. Assemblies begin taking up bench space longer than expected. Resetting the entire garage after every work session starts becoming a waste of time, so separate work areas slowly begin forming. One place for cutting, another for assembly, maybe another for sanding, grinding, or detail work. The garage begins organizing itself around workflow because the work keeps demanding more efficiency. Storage changes right along with everything else. Extra hardware starts collecting in coffee cans and small bins. Pieces of wood and metal get saved because they might become brackets, spacers, jigs, or repair parts later. Half-used boxes of screws start multiplying. Small organizers appear. Shelves fill up. Before long, the garage stops feeling like random storage and starts feeling like a working inventory of tools, materials, and capability. The shop also starts adapting to the way you work. Frequently used tools move closer to the bench. Certain machines earn permanent locations because they get used constantly. Rolling stands stop rolling because the tools naturally belong in the same spot every time. None of this happens all at once. The work keeps asking for improvements, and the garage slowly evolves to support them. That's also why trying to build some giant dream shop right out of the gate usually misses the point. At the beginning, you don't fully know what the space needs yet. The projects teach that over time. Somewhere along the line, the garage stops feeling temporary. You walk out there and know where things are. The layout starts helping instead of fighting you. That's really what turns a garage into a workshop. Not giant toolboxes. Not expensive machines, not polished floors or fancy cabinets. It becomes a workshop when the space starts helping you get things done. This video is part of the Shop Setup playlist, where we look at how real home workshops grow through workflow, organization, capability, and practical improvements that support the work. In the next video, we'll start at the beginning by building capability with the tools you already have. Thanks for watching. There's more to come.